Welcome. This is Changing Times LA, and I'm Charles McDuffie. Our show is basically designed to bring interesting things to you, things that hopefully will give you some benefit. And today we have with us as a guest Miss Terri Verhulst, who is a fitness trainer, fitness specialist. As a matter of fact, she's a certified physical fitness specialist, certified U.S. Department of Defense Naval Command fitness leader, dietetic technician, fitness competitor, and that's just part of it. Terri, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're quite welcome. Listen, you know, I was at Southwest College recently, but I just recently graduated. I think I told you, just got my little old man just got an Associate of Arts degree in Spanish.
Right.
And while we're talking about that, I think I'm either magna cum laude or cum laude, and which is opposed to how I graduated from every place else, which was Hetman laude.
I can relate.
Yeah, but I took a class, my class in health,
Right.
and they talked a lot about wellness, you know, and
Right.
and episodic medicine, that sort of thing, you know. How important is health awareness to the people in the community in general, and especially the African American community?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, because I think that education and just being aware of things that you can do and of risk factors of diseases can help prevent. What I do, and aligned with physical fitness, I feel like I'm more in preventative health, because being physically fit, learning proper nutrition, and just adapting fitness as a lifestyle can help you have a better quality of life and also longevity of life. And it's very important. Awareness, you can't change or make better something that you're not aware of if you're not exposed to it. So I think it is the major component of even helping you to get better, or even to help you devise a plan to help you have a better lifestyle.
Let me ask you a question. This might be a little kind of a touchy subject, you know, not that touchy, but do you see other cultures like the Caucasian culture, or other cultures? Do you see them taking more, being more aware of the need for wellness as opposed to the African American community, or how do you see that?
Actually, I do. And one of my personal passions is to be a role model and an example and an educator for the African American community, as well as everybody across the board. But as far as the African American community, even when I grew up, I didn't have a role model of someone that I could relate to, that I felt like maybe I looked like, that represented fitness for me as a black woman, or even as an African American, period. And so people a lot of times relate to someone that's like what they are, or they can learn from that. And if you look now, I mean, you've had Jack LaLanne forever, so people, you know, a lot of Caucasian people can identify with him, a lot of males could identify with him, and even people like Body by Jake and all the people you see now, you know, even gracing the cover of magazines. I mean, what are the numbers and the odds of the people that you see that are African American, and even African American women? Right. So that's been one of my personal goals, is to be an example and an educator, to reach out to my community and represent fitness and health and educate. And along those lines, when we hear reports on the news stating that African Americans have higher risk factors for heart disease, blood pressure, and diabetes, this is not something that, as a race, that African Americans are born with, like an inherent gene. This is just a matter of education. With a few simple lifestyle changes in education, those numbers can come down, and that's where my passion is, as far as educating and preventing those things.
Right, and of course, I know that most of us have unplanned eating habits, you know.
Exactly.
And, you know, eating fatty foods, you know, it's just it's not regulated at all.
Right, which goes back to some cultural things. Just like you learn certain cultural things, you can learn better ways to adapt that better way of lifestyle to change that, and that will have a better outcome with some of those risk factors.
Right. Are there a lot of people that are somewhere in the same capacity as you are in terms of African Americans with the same type of inspirations, or do you see yourself as being somewhat unique in that area?
To be honest with you, I see it as being unique. I'm searching because it would be wonderful to work with someone else, someone else that had that same passion, and that we can bounce off each other and grow. Because I'm thinking back in times, even when I was growing up, like I mentioned, there wasn't one, and I'm even searching now to find other people with those same aspirations and the same goal. I mean, I know that it was put into me for a reason, so I want to give back, and it's where my heart is where my passion is what I was meant to do.
Okay. Well, you know what? I'm certainly impressed by your qualifications, and it's like I can look at your certifications and that sort of thing. The list of certifications that you have and the experience, and that's very impressive. But the mere fact of looking at you testifies.
And it's a lot of work. Yeah. I have 2 kids, and I want to live the lifestyle as well as teach it, and so that's an important component, and that's one of the reasons why I did some of the other things as competing, because it helps keep myself to a personal standard, which I'm trying to help people achieve, and I want to set an example, because people see you before they listen to anything you have to say, no matter how many letters you have behind your name or how many certifications, they look at you.
Exactly.
And if you represent what you're saying, you practice what you're preaching, they're more apt to take that advice and to learn from you.
Yeah, it's hard to be successful with a conflict. There,
Exactly,
you saying one thing and showing something else.
If I was a beautician, I wouldn't want to come out with my hair like Don King and tell you, come to my shop. So
I know that's right. Yeah. So as far as fitness is concerned, and your qualifications, you have done some work for the United States government.
Yes.
And tell us a little bit about that.
I was a personal trainer for the Department of Defense, and I trained all branches of the military, as well as retirees, anywhere ranging from master chiefs, sergeants, Marines, and retirees, as well as their families and children. Anyone that had access to the military base, I was training. I mean, I lost count of numbers, but it was very rewarding, because some of the challenges were these standards that the military set out for them to reach their PRT, physical fitness readiness test. They based those on whether they can stay in the military, get kicked out. There were a lot of standards that they had to keep astringent to make sure that they were physically fit and they would perform their duties.
Okay.
So this was a career issue as well as health issues. Okay. So it was very rewarding when I felt like I can help someone actually save the career, as well as these people are fighting for my freedom, for your freedom, and if I'm making them stronger and healthier, that's just going to trickle down in more ways than one. So it was a very good experience. I really enjoyed that.
Now that's interesting. So you were like the salvation of their careers. Huh?
Oh yeah, I've had plenty of them. They were on the verge of getting kicked out if they would fail certain standards of body composition or physical fitness readiness a certain amount of times within a certain period.
Okay.
They would lose their benefits as well. Their retirement. So if they're getting kicked out before their time, and they're losing all these years that they put into prior to that, as well as their health concerns, so that part was very rewarding.
Let me ask you this: the training type of schedule that you had with them, was it a general type of exercise, diet, et cetera, type of plan, or was it individualized and customized per need?
It was exactly that. It was based on a physical fitness assessment. That's individualized. This is the way I would do any client. I would find out what their needs are and what their goals are, and do an assessment, and then go from there. Everyone has different needs, and if they were sent to me based on the fact that they needed to get faster in running, then I work a program according to that.
Okay.
If they had to lose weight,